Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspiration, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. This video is a recording of a recent Facebook Live where I make this Thanksgiving card using this fun Coming Home bundle from the Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. There's a lot of chatter, but I hope you'll watch and enjoy. Okay, so first of all, I have a piece of Happy Mail to share with you today. I've got it a while back, but you know me, I put it in a stack somewhere and it's like, okay, Lisa, here it is. But look at this. This is a fun fold that I shared on a live a while back, and it's from Peggy Sweet, and she is so sweet. She tells me that she loves watching the videos and she feels like we're friends, and I do too. That's how I feel about all of you that watch me. Love sharing and interacting with you. So glad we can do this here. So thank you, Peggy, for that beautiful card. Next, we have the current starter kit promotion from Stampin' Up! We have a great stars team, and if you've ever thought about joining, this is a great time. You get 2 extra stamp sets, Queen Anne's Lace and So Much Love, plus some kits to make cards, 8 of each, and then some rhinestones. So if you're interested about that or would like to know more, just let me know. Okay, that's called the Get and Go promotion. Okay, so now I have some prizes to give away. For sharing last week's video, Sherry Moman is getting this little package of black Stampin' Dimensionals. So Sherry, I think I have your address, so I'll be sending that to you. And then for my socks or no socks post, Diane Pasco is getting these 2 projects made with Sailing Away. Okay, and so I'll be sending those to her. So thank you, and be looking for another fun post up on the Ink and Inspirations with Lisa Brown here today. All right, so today we are going to be working with the Coming Home bundle. And I'm using the stamp set and the dies for this card. And in the catalog, in the mini catalog, it's on page 25, 24, 25, and 26. Let me open this up. This stamp set is just so fun, and the coordinating paper is great. And this is one of those sets that you can use the dies on the designer paper too, and I'm going to show you some of those in just a minute. But let me just tell you about this particular stamp set, bundle, or suite. You know, the suite, when you buy the suite of products, you get everything, okay, on this page for one price, and you just have to write one number. Or you can just buy the stamp set, okay, you can see all of the images there, or you can get the bundle. And if you do that, you see down here where it says Making a Difference, Stampin' Up! Does some great things with just sharing and donating to wonderful causes. And this one, if you purchase a stamp set, the bundle, or the suite, Stampin' Up! Will donate $3 to charities devoted to adoption, foster care, and infertility. So that's near and dear to my heart. I have some family close to me that struggle with infertility, and so really was happy to see that. So know that with your purchase with that goes to a wonderful cause. Okay, these are my pieces. Let me show you the designer paper. Here's my designer paper sampler that I have, and you can see they have little houses here, and here's the flip side, the snowflakes, some wreaths, and there's a die to cut that, and then you have these sayings in all of the different languages where Stampin' Up! Is representative. And so you can just cut these apart, because there's English, German, French, I believe is what's here, English, German, and French, and use those on your card. And we're doing that. I'm going to show you a sample with that today. Today I'm actually stamping a sentiment from a different set. This one has all the houses that coordinate with the dies, with a lovely, this is Misty Moonlight, and then a really pretty scene that you can use full page or cut apart to use. Then you have your little townspeople and then the trees. So, and here are the coordinating colors, and just really fun for Christmas. I was glad to see the blues mixed in with the reds and the greens. Okay, so for this project, we're using Old Olive as a base, and I cut that at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored it at 5 1/2. And then I have 2 pieces of Old Olive. One is cut at 4 by 3 1/2, and the other is cut at 4 by 2 1/2. And I'll be using these to die cut the tree lines for our card today. I have a thin strip of crumb cake. This is for our sentiment, and I cut this 1/2 inch, and it's about 4 inches long. And I usually cut it longer than I know I need because I'm going to be punching the ends and cutting off one of the ends. And here we have a piece of that designer paper with the tree background, and this is cut by 4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so we're going to build up on top of this, and of course Whisper White to stamp on. So let's do our die cutting first, so I can get the big shot, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and this die cutting out of the way. Okay, so here we go. Great little machine. Look, it's so pretty. I love that it's white. And I'm going to be cutting the thin dies. So I have the number 1 platform, the number 2 die cutting plate, number 3, it's backwards, but I flip mine so that they don't get bowed too much. Okay, that's the 3. And then I'm going to put the cardstock and the die. So I'm using this die with the little trees. Okay, and then I'm going to get those 2 pieces of 4-inch Old Olive. I'll get it out in a minute. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to cut the tree line. I'm going to use, you see it's longer than my piece of paper. That's okay. And I'm going to use it to cut the tree line up here. And all of this down here is going to be used on our card front. So I'm leaving that as it is. Okay, and I know I'm just getting 1 set of trees in there, but that's all the good. That's how I meant it to be. And so I'm going to put my other number 3 plate on top. Whoop. Line that up. And I don't have my magnetic plate yet. I'm ordering that and on my next order, which will be October 1st. And I can't wait to get it. Because I hear it's wonderful. So let's see. Yeah, Parson, do you have this set? I love it. Love it, love it. I also, you know what I was thinking too, because the coloring, I mean the actual stamps and images are so simple for coloring that Lila and Mia, I was going to say Clara, I'm not going to give her a crayon yet. Okay, see what we have here? Woo. That would be fun for them to color, don't you think? They could even make some Christmas cards. Okay, so now I want to highlight these 2 trees on this end. So I'm going to put it up at the top again. Let me show you. Like this. And I want to slide that over just a little bit so I can get one of these trees in here. Okay? So you see what I'm doing? I'm getting these 2 on this end and then this one on this end, hopefully. We'll keep our fingers crossed. So let's put our cutting plate on top. And it keeps shifting on me. I'm going to hold it and put it down. Okay, that's good. And roll it through. So, if you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. So excited to be crafting with you and chatting with you. I have missed being live. And it looks like so far so good. I'm checking my laptop here. And so, okay. So now you see what I have? Okay. So I have these two and this. And so we're going to layer those on our card. All right. But first, I want to jazz these up a little bit. So I'm going to get some scrap paper, a sponge dauber, and Old Olive ink. And I'm going to add some ink to the trees to make them stand out a little bit more, okay? So I'm going to gently just ink these up. I showed these to Jackie last night. I say these because I have another sample to show you later. And he said, I love these cards. He goes, I love that. He goes, I love the dimension on them. And you'll see what I mean. So he always likes to, I want to say critique, but he always looks at my cards and tells me, he describes them for me. It's so funny. Okay, so now I'm also going to go along the top edge here just to define it a little more, okay? Oh, Diana, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. I love doing this. I mean, especially since, I mean, my Stampin' Up! Business is mainly online, but this is like, to have this type of interaction and chatting with people is just very special. I love it. Okay, so I have these. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this piece of the designer paper, okay? And I thought that would make a great background. And the card I'm making kind of reminds me, I was trying to do like our cabin here. It's not exactly like it, but I wanted to give the feel of the woodsy look. And so I have this, and I'm going to cut off my excess. But I cut it for, what did I say? I cut it 4 inches. I cut this 4 1/4. So, so I will have the right measurements posted in the description of the video later on today. So look at those measurements, because sometimes when I get to jabbering, I say the wrong thing. But what I did is I cut it a little bit longer so that I could have some room to play with it. Okay, so I know I want this on top and this one on bottom, and I have this full sheet. Even though I'm covering it up, I have the full 5 1/2 inches, so I have something to adhere this to before I actually put it on the card base. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to do this. And I know I'm chatty, but that's why I called it Craft and Chat, because I know I was going to be talking. All right, so see how I just turn that over and just slide my scissors along the edge there? Easy peasy. Okay, and then this one is going to go down here, and I'm trying to decide, I think I want those a little closer together. And I wait to glue it on until I've got all of my pieces so that I'm sure about the, you know. And see, some of that tree's going to be cut off, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to cut off. Okay, all right, so that we're building it up, and let's see, what do I want to do next? I think I want to go ahead, I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to do some stamping. So, y'all know that I was not feeling well for like 2 weeks. I mean, it was bad. It wasn't COVID, but it was some kind of an inflammation. And because I was sitting so much for those 2 weeks, because it hurt for me to walk, I developed sciatica. I know that's what it was from because I was so inactive. So now I'm dealing with that, and it's not all the time. It's just sometimes. And so hashtag aging person problems. But it's like, okay, so I started reading up on it. I talked to my doctor about it. Okay, I'm stamping all 3 houses while I'm chatting. Okay, so this is the middle size. Anyway, I talked to my doctor about it, and he said, you need to look up some exercise. There are great exercises on YouTube for sciatica. And because he's all about not taking medication unless you absolutely have to, which I love. I love that. And so I did, and then I found this site that had suggestions. Okay, this is Memento Black ink because I'm going to be coloring with blends, okay? So anyway, I found that, it said if you do a lot of standing, to have a block or a step stool or something that you put your foot up on so you're not both feet. So I have that, and it helps. So I'm standing here with one foot propped up. But it's kind of, it's not high or anything, but it's just, it works. It does help. So, and I'm still looking for a chair that is countertop height that I can use to stand and sit, okay? And so, because I do need to sit sometimes, because when I'm crafting, sometimes I'm in here for hours and I'm on my feet for that long. And I mean, I have a padded wide plank vinyl in here, but it's still, it's on concrete underneath that. So you know how that does. Okay, quit talking so much, Lisa. Anyway, so that's what I've been concentrating on, is trying to get exercises that I can do to help with the sciatica and find a chair that I can use to craft for my studio. Because yes, most of the time I stand. I'd rather stand than sit to craft. And if I'm sitting, I end up standing usually. So, okay, so we have both size trees, all 3 of the houses, and now we're going to color. So I've got, and I need to order some more of my Old Olive. I use the heck out of them. Old Olive combo. I have Crumb Cake combo. I have Light Pool Party. And I have Light Soft Suede. I would have Dark Soft Suede, but yes, I'm still walking, Loretta. I had to stop for a while, but yes, I'm still walking. I have no idea where my Dark Soft Suede is. It has disappeared, so I need to order that too. Okay, so now for coloring, I usually sit. So I'm going to pull my stool up, and I can't really see your comments. I'll look at my computer every now and then, so if I don't answer you, that's why. I'll answer you later. Okay, so now I'm going to color. This is going to be what you would almost call a monochromatic card, okay? Because it's just 2 main color families. And so first of all, I'm going to take my light Old Olive, and we have a green roof on our cabin, our green shingles, and I'm going to color the roofs. So this is simple coloring, but do you see what I mean about how this is a simple, almost like coloring book images? I love that. Y'all, this is great for kids. You have to think of some kind of activity with them, but for one, I think they could color these and I could put them on a card. I mean, how cute would that be? So, okay, so there's my green or Old Olive roof. And then I'm going to take my dark Old Olive and kind of just come in. Nothing fancy, ladies, just simple. It reminds me of when I was in elementary school, and remember we had coloring sheets, and you would outline, or I did, I would outline in dark in the color and then color inside really light. And I always thought that was so cool. And look, here I am still coloring. Do y'all feel like that? I feel like, you know, elementary school and preschool, you're working with scissors and paper and colors, still doing it. I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to come back and blend that dark in a little bit. And this poor Old Olive's marker blends needs to be replaced. Okay, so now I am going to do these other roofs in the dark marker with the ball tip, and let's get up here where y'all can see. And I'm just kind of going around the outline here, okay? On these two roofs here. All right. So now I'm going to do this door. This is the only door that will show once I get all of my pieces layered on the card front, okay? So I'm coloring it a dark green. We have the green doors. Okay. There we go. So simple, y'all. I love this. Okay, so now I'm going to take soft suede in light. If I had the dark, I'd be using it too, but I don't. So I'll show you what I did to kind of give me a variation of color. Okay, since this is small, I'm going to use the ball tip. I have more control than the, I say the ball tip, the fine tip, not the brush tip. I find that if you have a small area like this and you're just doing full-on coloring and not blending, to use the ball tip. Okay, so if you love coloring with Stampin' Blends, give a heart. That'd be fun. See some hearts. If you love coloring with Stampin' Blends. And if you haven't tried it, why not? Oh, I love them. Okay, so now I'm going to take my color lifter, since I don't have my light and dark of my soft suede. So, and I'm just gonna pull, it pulls some of the color up and kind of, you know, you can have a little bit of shading. And you can't really tell the result until it's dry. So don't go crazy with the color lifter, okay? Just kind of gives you a variation in color. It's not just the solid look, okay? All right, so let's see if I can. All right, so now I'm gonna do these little shingles. And then I'm gonna do the light soft suede again in the fine tip. Okay, and then, so I'm just going to color all of these, and I'm doing circular motion because they're little curved lines. You know, the little curved, scalloped. I'm sure there's a name for it. And Jackie would say, Lisa, these are called this, but he's not in here, so. Okay, so you see how much darker that is than this? Okay, let's see if you can. Do you see how this is shaded now? And then this is so dark. So I'm gonna pull off some of that color there too. Kind of makes it more natural like wood, okay? So you use the color lifter again. And just pull up some of that color. Just a little. Okay. So now, what's next? Now I'm going to use light crumb cake to color the houses, okay? This is to simulate the logs. So let's see. I should do my chimney. And I'm using the brush tip and just going lines across here. Come down. Another color that I debated whether or not to use on this part is the bronze, you know, the skin tone bronze. And that would be pretty too. I use that. I've been using that since I can't find my dark soft suede when I need a darker brown than crumb cake. This is light crumb cake. Okay. Now I'm going to take my dark and just come in and do a little bit of shading. Well, I don't like that. Should have done a more nearer line. Come up here under the, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I'm going to blend that in. Every time I color something, it's different. Try to blend that line out. And just going over your initial coloring, oh, I forgot this, darkens it too. I'm wishing I would not have done that line up there, but that's okay. You can blend it. You just play with it. Color over it. Okay, that looks pretty good. That blended it, did a pretty good job blending that line. I should have done a little curly cues or something, or started with the dark first. Okay, so now, here we go. And these, I think I might just use the light crumb cake. You like how I went back up there? It's like, oh, I'm coloring this one, but I'm looking at that other one. That's dangerous, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to go over this again and make it a little darker. Circular motion. Okay. So tomorrow morning here in the Ozarks, it's supposed to be in the low 50s. Yeah, I can handle that. I would love 50s to 70s. I think, who has weather like that? San Diego? San Diego may get warmer than that, but I know they have nice weather, but I wouldn't want to live there. Nice place to visit. Beautiful. I was able to visit thanks to Stampin' Up. That was my very first little trip that I earned, was to San Diego. Okay, there we go. We're going to finish the houses while we have them here. So this light pool party is going to be just to give the windows some color. And I debated on this too about, and I'm just outlining a little bit of brush strokes, okay? Whether or not to do like yellow, like it was nighttime, but I decided not to. Because the sky, the background doesn't look like, it looks like day. So, if you were doing a nighttime scene, yeah, yellow daffodil delight, light daffodil delight windows. Okay, so here, I got this a little bit more. That's not going to show. This is, okay. Now let's do our trees. Easy peasy, simple. And now, if I were making a stack of these cards, I would do all my coloring. I mean, it's so relaxing. You can see I'm not in too big of a hurry, but I'm almost finished, I promise. So fun. Then do all my die cutting and set my pieces aside, then work with the rest of it, and bam, it's possible. Okay, dark. No, light soft suede for the trunks. So you see how I don't have a lot of color here? It's mainly the browns and the greens. Okay, and so now I'm going to take my dark Old Olive and kind of give this a little bit of a shading. Just a little. Okay, then take my light and go back over it. Okay, while I'm coloring, finishing up here real quick, I want to tell you that World Card Making Day is October the 3rd, and I will have details on my blog tomorrow, which I will link here. I'll probably be doing like 3 cards throughout the morning, Saturday morning. And I may just do one long live since it probably will be okay as far as my broadcast clarity. So I'll have more about that. So be looking for that, okay? All right. Oops. What'd I forget? My chimney. And I didn't put smoke coming out. They have a little curly cue where you can use, do smoke coming out of the chimney, but I didn't do it on this card. Or my other card. Because I just didn't feel the need. If I were doing this whole scene on Whisper White, you know, on the front of a card, I probably would stamp the little smoke swirls. Okay, so I have all that. And then these, look at these perfect dies. Gosh, and they're so simple, so they're not intricate, and they cut like a charm, especially with the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so here's that little tree, and I would run that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Okay, you could cut it all at the same time, especially if you have that magnetic plate. Okay, but to save a little time, and if I can find them, I have these already cut out, and I'll make another card with this because I love it. Just absolutely love it. Okay, so now let me pull the pieces in, and I can show you the die cuts. Hey, Catherine, thank you. Okay, so Catherine, I was saying these images would be cute for kids to color, and then you die cut them and put them on a card. I think that would be so cute. All right, so looky here. Here we go. So, just a little confession here. If I die cut these, and you know, I didn't have my Stampin' Pierce mat, not Stampin' Pierce, magnetic mat. And if I get too much white around the edge, I cut it with my scissors. I don't redo the whole thing. I just kind of fix it. You know what I mean. Okay, so now let's get this. Here we go. So now, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to start playing with this. Okay, you see that white along the edge? I probably could shade that in with Pool Party, but I'm not. I'm going to cut it. It didn't, my dies slipped a little bit because, like I said, I don't have the magnetic sheet yet. So I just kind of doctor it up. Does anybody else do this? I mean, it's like, I don't want all that white showing. Okay. All right. That's better. So now, while I'm at it, I'm going to do this, y'all. It's bothering me. I don't think this is going to show, but I'm going to snip it anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to play with this a little bit. Okay. And then this is going to go in front of that because it's like part of the house. Okay. So, get this out of the way. That's going to go like this. And then this is going to go like this. Look at that. Okay. So, let's start building it a little bit. So what I do, I know this is going to be on the very bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus, and yes, I like the Plus better than the plain Stampin' Seal because if you're in a humid area, which it's been humid here, this is just a better stick for me. Okay, so I've got it along the bottom, but this is where I can lift and put beneath if I need to, okay? Because this is going to go there too. And I am going to get that just like that. I think I'm going to come down a little bit. So, let's just go for it. Okay, and then I'm going to lift that up, slide that, line up the edges, come down just a tad, because I want some of this skyline, so to speak, to be showing, okay? All right, so now we have that. We can start building with our little house. So I'm going to put this one here. And I do the same thing. I just put adhesive at the bottom. Okay. Lift it just in case. I don't think I want to go beneath it, but I'll do it like this. Kind of get it in the center. I like that little tree in front of it there. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Then this one is going to go right here. And I see a little piece I didn't get with my die. That's going to go here. And behind that little tree. And I kind of like a little bit of the house showing from over here, but I don't want to cover up that window. So that's how I gauge where I put the houses. Okay. Lift that up. There we go. All right, and now this is the front door. And I come over just a tad. Just a tad. And this one goes on with dimensionals. Now, I decided to use this color scheme because I wanted to make a Thanksgiving card, okay? So, and this could be a welcome home card. It could be a we've just moved card. It could be, you know, from our home to yours. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's going on there nicely. You see how fun that is? So much fun. Okay, so now I'm going to take this large tree and I'm going to put it like right here. But I'm going to put it up on dimensionals if I can find. Can I use a big one? I think so. Yeah. Okay, I'm coming behind that other. I don't want to cover the window too much, but okay. And then the little tree is going to go back here. Like that. And that one I'm just using a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus. Okay. So what y'all think? Isn't this fun? I need to trim the tree. No. I love this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of all the trimmings ribbon. This is in that same suite. It's on the same page. Beautiful old olive trimmed in gold. So it's our little bit of bling on this card. So I'm going to put this on first before it's adhered to the card base. And so I'm going to just tie a knot on this one. Okay, it's kind of crooked. I am hot. Whew. I turned my air conditioner on. I'm going to twist that in the front. It's because I'm tying it, I know. Okay. I'm struggling, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to flip this, even though it'll be twisted in the back. I don't want that twist in the front. There we go. All right, now we can trim this off. I mean, it's like, do I have a rubber band to put my hair up? This long hair, y'all. For me, it's long. And whew, I should have put it up in a ponytail. Okay. All right. Okay, there's that. Now, if I can find my crumb cake, here it is. So now I wanted this to say Happy Thanksgiving, but I was going to show you what you could use. Here is that sheet of all of these sayings in French, German, and English. And like, look, most wonderful time of the year, season of cheer, deck the halls, be merry. From our house to from our home to yours. Okay, so you can see I used one, and you'll see that in a minute. You can do that, but I wanted this one to say Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm using the Banner Year Bundle. And yeah, somewhere I have the stamp. Somewhere I have the stamp. It's right here. And this is that 1/2-inch strip, okay? And I'm using Early Espresso ink. And I'm going to ink up the Happy Thanksgiving. And I'm going to, I need to stand up now. Okay, and, ooh, that's got too much ink. Got too enthusiastic with my stamping there. Okay, so now I am going to stamp this a little toward the right, okay? And I'll tell you why in just a minute. I know I want this end flat against this side, so I'm going to cut that off, and then I'm going to banner punch this side. So, I'm going to cut off a bit here. You want to leave yourself a little room to punch. I'm going to cut right there. Okay, straighten that up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Banner Pick-a-Punch, which is in that Banner Year Bundle, and the 1/2-inch little slide here. We're just going to slip that in, and I'm going to turn it over and center it. See how you can see right there? Punch. There you go. So I left about almost a 1/2 of an inch to punch that. Okay. And what you could do to be safe is punch your piece first, leave that long, stamp, and then cut off. That's what I should have done to be safe, but okay, so now this is going to go here along the edge. Ooh, got to turn under that adhesive. Okay, then it's going to go over top. I mean, see when you get it all together, I love it. Okay, So let's put, I probably should have used liquid glue. Okay, so it's going to center, it goes top to bottom, center it, and slide it down. And there's your card. So, what you think? Thank you. I love it. You know, when I thought, oh, I haven't even used this stamp set yet, and I love it. And I started playing with it yesterday, and I thought, oh, yeah, I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, so let me show you a holiday Christmas card I made with it, okay? And I'll probably be doing a video, a partial video on this one too later on my YouTube channel. But here's one with the holiday, and see how I colored the house more holiday color. I put the wreath, did I cut the wreath here? Here are the little trees. Thank you, Hope. And then use the poppy ribbon. The red in here is Poppy Parade, so I've colored that. And then you have the dies for the snowdrifts. And that's so easy to do, y'all. The video will show you that when I do it. Anyway, and there's that designer paper. So anyway, okay, this is the Coming Home Bundle. I cannot recommend it anymore. It's just, I mean, not anymore. I can't recommend it enough. And yes, Lynn, you need to use it, because once you start, you just see, I mean, it's so sweet, okay? And the donation goes to a good cause. And I think you'll love working with it, especially if you love coloring with blends, okay? Or if you have little ones that like to color, okay? Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you so much for joining me. And we went almost an hour, I can't believe it. I hope to be back next Wednesday. And of course, visit my blog at inkinspirations.com. Let me know if I can help you with anything. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. And I will see you all again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.